Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV. I'm Gargi Rao. Our top story: no politician can enter West Bengal's Cooch Behar district for the next 3 days, the Election Commission has said, following the violence that broke out in which 4 people died. The silence period for the next phase of voting in the state, the 5th phase, which will be on the 17th of April, has now been extended to 72 hours from 48 hours, thus cutting the campaign period. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee had announced that she would on Sunday visit the area where the clashes broke out, while the Trinamool Congress had planned to organize a black badge protest across the state to mark the incident. Earlier we spoke to Monideepa for more.
Well, on the ground, what we are being told is, of course, the situation is tense. 4 people have died, 4 others are injured, and, there is no escaping the fact that all the 4 people who have died belong to the minority community. And that makes it, the whole situation so much more sensitive. And then you have a chief minister who has categorically said that she is going to visit the bereaved families tomorrow at 10 o'clock is what we have been told. She'll be taking a chopper from Shiliguri, where she is this evening, and she will be flying tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock to Sheetalkuchi to meet the bereaved families. And now you have a situation when she is not going to be allowed by the Election Commission of India. How is she going to take this? It's unlikely that she will take to it kindly, because, but again, I guess one shouldn't be, pre-guessing her moves, but certainly, after she had declared her plans to go visit the Sheetalkuchi, victims or families of victims, this order by the Election Commission is certainly not going to allow her to do that. So that is going to be, we have not yet got a formal reaction from the Trinamool just yet. Not only that, the Election Commission, which has said in its order that since the bodies have not been given their last rites, etc., the area is certainly sensitive. Given all that, there is also the further order which says that for the 17th election, you cannot campaign for 72 hours before that. The normal is 48 hours. So 72 hours before that, you cannot campaign. And there are polls going to happen in North Bengal as well, in and around the Cooch Behar district. So this is certainly going to, escalate a lot of tensions between Mamata Banerjee and perhaps the ECI, and certainly on the ground as well.
So 4 people were shot dead today in Bengal's Cooch Behar in a clash with security forces outside a polling booth. The clashes, which took place as 44 seats were voting in the 4th phase of assembly elections, have triggered a massive blame game between the BJP and the Trinamool Congress.
A viral video purportedly of the central forces opening fire at booth 126 at Sheetalkuchi. Firing that left 4 people dead. What really happened? The EC report says the incident was the result of a misunderstanding. A teenage boy had fallen ill near the booth. Central forces offered to give him a ride to hospital. Villagers thought the boy had been manhandled by central forces. Around 350 people, including women armed with sharp implements, attacked them. A poll staff and a CISF Jawan were injured. A CISF quick response team nearby rushed in. They first fired in the air, but when villagers tried to snatch arms and ammunition, they had to open fire. The Trinamool is not convinced. It has demanded the EC release official video footage of the incident. Mamata Banerjee blamed Amit Shah and demanded he resign. The Prime Minister, campaigning in Bengal, sharply raised the pitch.
बीजेपी के पक्ष में जन समर्थन देखकर दीदी और उनके गुंडों में बौखलाहट हो रही है। आपकी कुर्सी जाते देख दीदी इस स्तर पर उतर आई है।
মানুষ করে রক্ত দিয়ে বড় কথা বলে আমি বলে গেলাম অমিত শাহ you resign as a home minister, you are a conspirator.
Sheetalkuchi has reignited the controversy over the EC's notice to Mamata Banerjee for accusing central forces of taking the BJP's side and inciting people to gherao them.
The EC recently changed the DG of Police in West Bengal, the ADG Law and Order, and even the Superintendent of Police of the area where the killings took place was recently changed. The buck stops with you. The buck stops with the EC.
She trusts nobody, whether it's the Central Paramilitary Forces, whether it's the West Bengal government, police, or the Election Commission. If she thinks that she's law unto herself and she wants to conduct this election all by herself, in a democracy like ours, that's not possible.
There was a fifth death in Sheetalkuchi today at a different booth of a first-time voter shot in a BJP-TMC clash. The fourth phase in the Bengal polls does not bode well for the fifth on the 17th of April. With GD Shankar, Monideepa Banerjee, NDTV.
Well, let's get you vaccine news now. And as the total number of COVID vaccine doses administered in the country have crossed the 10 crore mark, Union Health Minister said that India is the fastest nation to administer 100 million doses in 85 days. The US took 89 days to administer 10 crore doses of the COVID vaccine, while China took 102 days to do the same. The Prime Minister's office also tweeted a chart showing India as the fastest country to reach this vaccination milestone, calling it strengthening efforts to ensure a healthy and COVID-free India. Now, in view of the fast-growing COVID cases in the national capital, the Delhi government has now issued a long list of restrictions. These new restrictions will continue till the 30th of April. There's a ban on all types of social, political, sports, entertainment, academy, cultural, religious and festival gatherings in Delhi. All swimming pools will remain closed except for those pools where sports persons are training for national and international events. Only 20 people can attend a funeral, 50 people, a wedding. Restaurants and bars will also operate at 50% of their seating capacity. Even in the metro, only 50% of the seating capacity in a coach will be able to travel. Buses will also be able to travel with 50% capacity at a time. And news from Maharashtra, where Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray is in favor of a complete lockdown in the state that is struggling with an unprecedented rise in COVID cases. Sources told NDTV following an all-party meeting that took place today to discuss the crisis. Maharashtra, which has been reporting around half of the new infections in the country each day, enforced a night curfew and a weekend lockdown this week. But sources say Mr. Thackeray is in favor of stricter curbs to break the chain of transmission.
जिस तरह की परिस्थिति पूरे देश में निर्माण हो रही है, महाराष्ट्र में निर्माण हुई है, कहीं ना कहीं हर तरफ से आने वाले दिनों में आरोग्य सेवाओं पे बड़ा दबाव बन रहा है। वेंटिलेटर की कमी हो सकती है, ऑक्सीजन बेड की कमी हो सकती है और पूरी स्वास्थ्य व्यवस्था चरमराई जा सकती है। इसके लिए कुछ कड़े कदम उठाने पड़ेंगे, जिसको लेके मुख्यमंत्री महोदय ने सभी राजनीतिक दलों की बैठक बुलाई। कल लगभग जो हमारा टास्क फोर्स है कोविड को लेके, उसको चर्चा करके सरकार कोई निर्णय लेगी। लेकिन लॉकडाउन लगाते समय जो समाज का कमजोर वर्ग है उसे किस तरह से सहायता दी जा सकती है, सभी दल की ये मांग थी। निश्चित रूप से सरकार विचार करके क्या निर्णय लेना है, कल की बैठक के बाद मुख्यमंत्री महोदय के माध्यम से उसकी जानकारी जनता को दी जाएगी।
So the decision on the lockdown is still to be taken. Now on Saturday it was day one of the weekend lockdown. However, vaccination centers were exempt. Purva reports.
Day one of the weekend lockdown as Maharashtra and its capital Mumbai tries to stop the spread of coronavirus. Only limited people on the road and at various junctions of Mumbai roads. Mumbai police is being monitoring the situation, and there are various checkpoints where Mumbai police is checking each and every car, and only then allowing people who are exempted from this lockdown, only allowing them to pass. Among those exempt from the lockdown are people who have to get their vaccine dose. A day after Mumbai ran out of doses, in as many as 70 out of 120 centres, only government centres were open today to vaccinate eligible people. 50-year-old Bharti Jain came to the BKC Jumbo Centre for the second day today. She was sent back on Friday due to unavailability of vaccines.
आज के बारे में आपको कुछ डर था कि आज मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा? हाँ, लग रहा था कि मिलेगा नहीं मिलेगा। पहले लड़के को भेजा था तो बोला नहीं, लाइन नहीं, आप जाओ आराम से। कि वैक्सीन लगाना जरूरी है। घर पे सास ससुर है तो बोल रहे हैं लगा के आ जाओ, इसके लिए आ गए हम लोग।
Worried about the shortage, Purvi Somaya came along with her mother and domestic help for the vaccine shot.
I think it was a good thing because I got a slight scare in the sense that again if the shortage happens, might as well do it if it's available. I don't know if there's going to be shortage again in the next coming week.
BMC received 99,000 doses on Friday and the city in its full capacity vaccinates on an average 50,000 people daily. But on Friday the city could vaccinate only 33,000.
Despite the lockdown, many people are stepping out to take their vaccine shots, fearing that once again a shortage will halt their vaccine doses, and since the cases are rising, people feel that it is important and necessary to take their vaccine shots. In Mumbai with camera person Rajendra Dayalkar, this is Purva Chitnis for NDTV.
And in Madhya Pradesh as well, a crisis and a heartbreaking story from Indore where two patients died at the doorstep of a hospital. Their families desperate to save them, but the hospital that was full kept them waiting till it was too late.
As COVID cases surge, scenes of despair and desperation outside Indore's hospitals. Medical services are struggling to cope, ambulances with patients lining up outside hospitals, desperate relatives running from pillar to post in search of a hospital bed. On Friday, two patients died in ambulances outside Super Speciality Hospital in Indore. Relatives say their cries for medical aid fell on deaf ears.
बोल रहे कि बेड की व्यवस्था कर दो, इमरजेंसी है। बोला यार यहाँ तो और भी 10 एम्बुलेंस खड़ी है और वहाँ भी इमरजेंसी है। एक व्यक्ति को काउंटर पे दे रखा है, एक व्यक्ति को, जबकि इतनी बड़ी गंभीर बीमारी है उसके लिए कम से कम रिसेप्शन पे 5 लोग होना चाहिए ताकि हर व्यक्ति को अटेंड कर सके। एक व्यक्ति 50 लोगों को संभाल रहा है। इमरजेंसी में डॉक्टर को व्यवस्था होने में आधा घंटा लग रहा है। आपके फादर हैं? मेरे फादर है ये।
Another patient's relative pleading for oxygen, his wife screaming for help. But the patient breathed his last outside the hospital. Relatives allege they waited for hours, but the hospital was busy doing the formalities.
भैया बेड कहीं भी नहीं मिल पा रहे हैं, कोई से भी अस्पताल में बेड अवेलेबल नहीं है। रात को मैं एमटीएच गया तो वहाँ पे बोर्ड टका हुआ है एमटीएच के बाहर कि यहाँ पे बेड फुल है, और यहाँ पे भी आया रात को यहाँ पे मना कर दिया गया। हम 5 बजे घर पहुँचे, कोई बेड अवेलेबल नहीं मिला।
The authorities though claim the patients were brought dead.
मरीज जो ब्रॉड डेड आते हैं उसमें हम कुछ नहीं कर सकते, और ये हमेशा ट्राइज एरिया में मरीज एम्बुलेंस से आने के लिए, इसलिए हम लोगों का ये कहना है कि जब भी कोई मरीज कोई अस्पताल भेजे तो पहले सुपर स्पेशलिटी में फोन करके कंसेंट ले ले कि अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ बेड्स हैं कि नहीं।
हमारी जानकारी में ऐसा कोई प्रकरण नहीं है कि कोई इलाज के कारण किसी की मृत्यु हुई है। ये जांच का विषय, जांच कराई जाएगी, और ऐसा कहीं भी स्थिति नहीं है मध्य प्रदेश में।
Madhya Pradesh is among the top 10 states that account for more than 84% of daily cases, according to the Health Ministry. Over 4,000 people have died due to the virus in the state. Indore is reporting highest number of cases in the state. There are around 7,000 active patients in the city. The worrying surge in coronavirus cases seems to have forced politicians to seek divine intervention to ward off the COVID threat. Usha Thakur, the Minister for Tourism and Culture in Madhya Pradesh, was seen leading a prayer meet, though without a face mask in Indore.
Tourism Minister Usha Thakur can often be seen in public without wearing a mask, and the reason she performs Havan, recites Hanuman Chalisa, that's why she doesn't need to wear a mask. But for me and you, fine for not wearing a mask in public, and God forbid, if infected, no beds available in the hospital. With Hemant in Indore and camera person Rizwan Khan in Bhopal, Anurag Bari for NDTV.
Now, Kerala has managed to vaccinate about 10% of its population already. That's the highest in the south. Well, behind the high vaccination rates are the relentless ASHA workers who are mobilizing citizens. Take a look.
We are coming to you from a family health center in rural Thiruvananthapuram. Sitting behind me are women and men above the age of 45 who have got their vaccinations today. As COVID cases are increasing in Kerala all over again, the challenge before the state is to intensify their vaccination drive, and we bring you all the efforts on the ground. Unmindful of the April heat, Jacinta and Sindhu go door to door in rural Thiruvananthapuram to meet all people above 45 in their ward eligible to get COVID vaccine. These accredited social health workers intend to cover at least 30 homes today. About 250 people have been identified for the jab tomorrow. These ASHA workers had personally met 90% of them over the last week, but it is not always easy. 55-year-old Usha has agreed to get vaccinated tomorrow, but 49-year-old Jayashri has some apprehensions.
They have made an excellent arrangement because, as I told you before, when they found that I had some difficulty in walking, they offered me a wheelchair.
Kerala has already achieved 100% first dose vaccination for its 5 lakh healthcare workers and other frontline workers. It is using its army of healthcare workers and infrastructure to proactively create awareness and providing access to encourage senior citizens and others to get the jab.
വളരെ പ്രയാസമുള്ള ഒരു കാര്യമാണ് എങ്കിലും ഞങ്ങൾ സേവനം ചെയ്യുന്നതിന്റെ പേരിൽ ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു സന്തോഷമുണ്ട്. അതിൽ ആ തന്നിരുന്ന ദിവസം ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു 60% ആൾക്കാരെ വന്ന് വാക്സിൻ സ്വീകരിച്ചുള്ളൂ. പക്ഷേ അതിന്റെ ഗുണവശങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കി കൊടുത്ത് വീണ്ടും ഞങ്ങൾ മറ്റുള്ളവർക്ക് പ്രോത്സാഹനങ്ങൾ കൊടുത്തതിന്റെ ഫലമായിട്ട് അവർ വീണ്ടും ഇപ്പോൾ 75% ആയി.
This is how Kerala has managed to already vaccinate about 10% of its population, the highest in South India, with the first dose, as against Karnataka at 6% and Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Telangana at less than 5%.
Even though I have fixed the target of 100 people per PSC, many PSCs do around 190-200 people and more than 200 people also. So if the government of India opens the vaccination facility for all, Kerala is ready to get.
Post-elections, COVID cases are rising and Kerala wants to vaccinate as many as possible, as early as possible. With camera person SP Babu, Sneha Koshi for NDTV.
With that, time for us to slip into a short break. More news on the other side. Stay with us. Welcome back. News now from Punjab, and even as farmers continue their protests against farm laws, wheat procurement has kick-started in the state and commission agents are back at work. The Punjab Chief Minister even said commission agents play a key role.
The deadlock finally over, the Arthiyas or commission agents back at work, buying crops from farmers as the wheat procurement process kicks off in Punjab. Ever since Centre decided to implement direct payment to farmers, the commission agents had gone on strike. The state government then intervened, convincing Arthiyas to return to work. The Chief Minister tweeted, "Arthiyas play an important role in purchase of agricultural produce by cleaning, weighing, bagging and loading/unloading. My government will release 131 crore rupees to Arthiyas otherwise due from the central government."
नए सिस्टम के ऊपर सारे आड़ती भाईचारे ने अपनी मोहर लगाई, सहमति दी और उसके बाद अपनी स्ट्राइक वापस ली जो हड़ताल उन्होंने की हुई थी, और हमें भरोसा, सीएम साहब को भरोसा दिया कि ये सारी प्रोक्योरमेंट बड़ी निर्विघ्न रहेगी, बिना किसी रुकावट के रहेगी.
On day one though, not much activity at grain market in Patiala. Farmers like Kuljit Singh have been waiting at the mandi for the last 2 days to sell their produce.
ਆੜਤੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਜ਼ਿਮੀਂਦਾਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਪੈਸੇ ਵੀ ਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਆ ਵੀ ਆੜਤੀਆਂ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਪੇਮੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਧੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਹੈ, ਮਤਲਬ ਆੜਤੀਆਂ ਦੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਆਣੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ ਸਾਡੇ ਖਾਤੇ 'ਚ.
130 lakh metric tons of wheat is expected to arrive at the mandis this season. Number of procurement centres have been increased from 1,872 to 4,000. District level control rooms and mandi-wise grievance redressal committees have also been set up this year. But to carry out one of the biggest wheat procurement operations amid rising COVID cases, the government has made proper arrangements at the mandis, from distribution of masks to mandatory use of sanitizers and staggered entry for farmers based on a token system.
The state government has finally managed to convince the commission agents to call off their strike and participate in the procurement process in this wheat season. But the biggest concern would be the rising COVID cases, and the government will have to ensure that farmers who are coming to the grain markets follow proper COVID appropriate behavior. With Manoj Thakur in Patiala, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.